Watch the twist. Watch the edge.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here's Elliott. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
47. It's coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Time for San Fran's offense to go to work. Quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo ready to take him into Super Bowl 54 this season. Nearly 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Certainly the architect of some big wins in the regular season, but the 49ers kind of went away from the passing game in the postseason. Through just 19 passes against Minnesota, 8 against Green Bay. What do you see for Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, I think that their head coach Kyle Shanahan would love to have a similar game to what they had against Green Bay. His ego is not going to get in the way in play calling, meaning he's not going to show the world, hey, I've designed so many passing plays if the run is working. So if it is, they'll run it like they did it against Minnesota, like they did against Green Bay. But if it's not, Jimmy Garoppolo is more than capable of hurting people with the throwing game. He did it during the season when they needed the big throws. He'll be capable of doing it in the Super Bowl. Look, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. The key is just taking care of the ball and not fumbling it in the pocket against pass rush.
Throwing on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Bennett, the former Texas A&M Aggie, dropping the hammer. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Dallas takes over. In training camp, got off to the 3-0 start, got Zeke signed and in the fold, but then the wheels started to come off from that 3-0 record, 5-8 the rest of the way for an 8-8 finish. Not enough to win a down NFC East, and also not enough for Jason Garrett to keep his job. So now Mike McCarthy enters the fold.
And when you look back at this roster, and as you said, a team with Super Bowl aspirations, this is not a team that was overhyped, as is often the case with the Dallas Cowboys. That was a legitimate deal in my estimation, that roster was good enough to contend for a Super Bowl. Just never really got going with consistency. Couldn't beat the better teams that they played. And as you noted, finished 8-8. Mike McCarthy takes over a very good roster, a young quarterback in Dak Prescott. So it's the second act for Mike McCarthy. He has something he feels like he needs to prove after the way it ended in Green Bay. And this Dallas team has a lot that they need to improve on and a lot to show the rest of the world that this team really should be in a Super Bowl and soon.
By the way, since they did not win the NFC East, that's now 15 straight seasons that the NFC East has not had a repeat champion. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack? It's 3rd and long.
Watch that agreement. Go going to 53. Slam. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down again. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. George Kittle, the all-pro, 85 catches, over 1,000 yards this year. Maybe the most memorable play, that face mask tugging catch in the final minute of the win at New Orleans, Charles.
Yeah, you're right about that because it was a 4th and short. He catches the ball and continues downfield with what felt like 8 or 9 guys on top of him. But as you noted, the most important part was the face mask that was grabbed, and he just kept going. That is George Kittle. But he's almost been a forgotten man in the postseason because 49ers have emphasized the run game. Just 4 catches, 35 yards in 2 games. But how about the blocking? Absolutely dominating both at the point of attack and in space. Not a surprise because he is the son of a former Big Ten offensive lineman. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Good job.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here we go.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. To try again after the sack. Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the first down.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49ers. Field goal from the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
He was covered by Richard Sherman.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, kill.
Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Now Prescott lets it fly deep for Cobb. And this is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. It's a run by Coleman to start the third quarter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A pass complete here to Sanders, and he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jalen Smith. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Again, it's Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3rd and long for Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Cooper was the intended target.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, Really, this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. On second down, it's Coleman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First down, San Francisco.
On first down, Garoppolo looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with two hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The first down carried by Elliott doesn't amount to much, as he'll get forward for about a couple. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. From the 39, Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. A first down there on a pickup at 25. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Prescott now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Looking to throw on second down. Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a 1-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a first and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A first down carry by Elliott. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Prescott. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
On second down, Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. They go to Elliott again. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line. Here's Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. 13 yards there and a Niner first. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds.
Before the play even began, still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Well, Charles, the old